Welcome once again to the fifth session of the hackathon. This session, we are going to start building our weather app, but we are going to start with the HTML session. In the previous sessions, I introduced you to how to lay down your HTML framework and how to divide your HTML app or website into divisions. I also moved on with the next session to introduce you to CSS, how to style your work. Now, in the app building we are dividing it into three sessions. The first session, which is this one, is going to focus on our HTML section. The second session will focus on the CSS section, that's the styling. And the third session is going to focus on the JavaScript section. Now, in the HTML sections, we are going to code the header part, the body part, and the footer part of our app. We will make sure to divide our app into divisions, apply the knowledge we learned in the first and the second session. Without wasting much time, let's start coding. So I will start doctype HTML. Now, when I say doctype HTML, meaning I'm telling my browser that I'm using an HTML language to code my website or my app. I'll move to my next line. Now, this line, you can see there's something new here as compared to the previous session. Lang is equal to EN. Now, this one means that I'm telling my browser or the app that the app I'm building is in English version. The EN stands for English. I'm using the English language. That the app interacts with users in the English language. I'll move on to bring my head tag, and inside my head tag, I'll add some few information to my app. Now you can see something called meta cassette, then UTF-8. What this one means is that I'm telling my browser that my app actually contains characters, special characters, and even symbols. So I'm using an encoding called UTF-8 is a cassette. Meta means information. So information about the cassette or the encoding we are using. We are using a standard one called UTF-8, meaning in our app we can find characters, special symbols, and special characters. Now you can see I've added another meta in the header. Now this meta in the header, all what it is trying to say is that our app should be responsive. What do I mean by responsive? Meaning any screen our user will try to open our app on, it should actually fit the screen perfectly. So that's the meaning of the second meta. It's to make it responsive and fit any screen, be it phone, tablet, or a PC. It should be able to fit the screen. Then I'll add my title finally at the header section. So I'll say my first app. So we've laid down our basic framework, we've laid down our header. Now let's move to the body part of the HTML. In our body part, we will divide it into so many sections and so many divisions. Our first major division we are going to create in our body section is called App Wrap Division. App Wrap Division. We saw it in the say in the first session. We are using the same approach. Now, in this app wrap division, we are going to code a lot of things there. We will add a header on in our app, a header in our app. So we will call a header. Now, in this header, we are going to bring a search box. The main purpose of this search box is to help users type the name of a city or a country so that they can be able to fetch the weather update of that particular area. So let's continue and create our search box. Now you can see in the search box we brought an input. We brought a class search box. We want to make sure it's a search box. Then we brought a placeholder. This placeholder will tell the user that that's indeed the place for him or her to type the name of a city or the country that user actually wants to get the weather details from. Now, after the header, we will proceed. we will proceed to the main division, to main of our website. So we call it main. Now at the main, we are going to create some divisions in the main, some divisions. Now the first division we are going to create is called session, which will be named location. So we are going to session. So in the city, we can type examples there. Then after the division city, we want to bring another one, a division date. So the person can get the date. So any date, say Thursday, 24th August. So we will end here for this class, for this session, the session class location. We will move on to another division called current, which is going to contain the temperature, the weather, and the high and low. Another division we are calling called current. Now, in this division current, we are going to call a division called temperature. So, temperature, we can make it an F, that's the Fahrenheit. Then we will call another division weather. So we can say sunny. Then we will call another division, which we will name it high, low, high, low. That's the weather at its lowest temperature. What could it be? And at its highest temperature, what could it be? Now, this is the end of our HTML. So I will go over again. Now we started with the first section of our app. We call the doc type, the document type language we are using. We call the language we are using that's English. Content. We went to the head. We called a meta cassette using a normal or standard encoding UTF-8. We make sure our site is very responsive. We brought the title or in the header. Then after that, we moved to the body. In the body, we created a major division. We called it app wrap. And in this division, we called a header. In this header, where it is where we actually had the search box. So this is the search box, the search box. Then in the same app wrap division, we called main. In the main, we started calling subdivision. So the first one is called session location. So location. Inside it, we called a division called city and a division called date. Then we inserted some few data. Then we closed the session. So this is the session. We closed it. Again, we went to another division called current. Current. Then inside the current division, we created a temperature, a weather, and a high or low. So at its highest and at its lowest. Then we closed it here nicely. Then we closed our main finally. Then we closed our major app division there. That's the app wrap division. Closing tag. Then we closed our border and we have our HTML right there with us. So let's view our app. Now this is our app nicely done. Now our search box is working. Our search box can take the input. Now everything will be displayed here. So far this is what we've actually can build with our HTML section of the app. You can try yours and code yours there, follow through the code. So there's the code one more time. The header, the section, and the preview currently. Thank you for joining me on this session. Meet me again on the next session for the CSS. Thank you.